that gap between income and spending, that's what builds wealth. At 25, I was flat broke, £76 in my bank account, 18 grand in debt, no direction. Today, I earn more in a month than I did in a year. And I'm going to show you exactly how I turned it around step by step so you can too. If you've ever looked at your bank balance and didn't like what you saw, hit that like button. This video is really for you. This isn't one of those overnight success stories. I didn't go viral, I didn't invent an app, and I sure as hell didn't win the lottery. I was working retail, living paycheck to paycheck and drowning in debt. But I made a decision to learn, hustle and change, and every single step I took is something you can do too. Stick around to the end. I've saved my exact investing and automation system for the final section. That part alone could save you years of mistakes. So before I get into it, let me take you back. It's 2015, I'm 25, I'm sitting in my room, no AC, barely any furniture, checking my bank account, £76. I've had 5 days until rent was due. I had maxed out my credit card on groceries. I felt like I was losing. I remember skipping social events because I couldn't afford gas, hiding my financial stresses from everyone, lying to myself that things would just get better, but doing nothing to change it. If you've hit that point where you feel stuck and embarrassed, drop a comment that just says, I'm done. No shame here. That was my exact phrase that I wrote in my journal that night everything started to shift. My first step was a mindset shift. Number one, taking ownership. The biggest change wasn't in my income, it was in my mindset. I wrote in my journal, no one is coming to save you. That moment hit me like a punch to the gut. I wasn't a victim, I was a driver. From that day, I took full responsibility. The next one was to celebrate my small wins. I stopped trying to make £1,000 a month overnight. Instead, I got excited about saving £10 or paying off £40 balance. Small wins turned into big momentum. Next was cutting comparison. I muted people who made me feel behind and followed creators who taught me something. My feed went from FOMO, fear of missing out, to fuel. So here's a quick challenge. Comment one small financial win you've had recently, even if it's tiny. You'll be surprised how powerful it is to track progress publicly. So once I made that mindset shift, the next step was to fix my finances. This was budgeting and saving. So tracking expenses. First thing I did, I tracked every single pound for 30 days using Mint. I found I was spending over £200 a month on delivery, food, on £1,600 income. I mean, that's crazy. Next one was to zero base budgeting. I started budgeting every single pound before it even hit my account. Rent, food, debt, savings. I even had a small fund for fun. That structure gave me peace of mind. Next was to create an emergency fund. I sold my old PS4, picked up a weekend gig and stashed away £1,000. It wasn't much, but that little buffer really changed my relationship with money. So the next one was the debt snowball. I listed all my debt, smallest to largest. My first win, paying off a £325 store card. That small victory gave me the belief to keep going. So go ahead, pause this video and write down your smallest debt right now. Just one, that's your first target. Then come back and comment, target locked, accountability makes it real. Once I got my budgeting on lock, the next step was to make more money. So how I did this was I started off freelance writing. I signed up for Upwork and pitched a blog post for like £20. My first article about dog treats. £40 in the bank and I felt like I had won the lottery. The next one was to learn design. A client asked for Instagram graphics. I said yes, even though I didn't know how. I stayed up till 3 a.m. watching Canva tutorials. That £50 project turned into a £300 a month retainer. And this naturally led on to Instagram management. I offered to manage a local cafe's page for free. She loved it and referred me to 2 others. Suddenly, I had 3 clients and £600 a month in side hustle income. If you want me to make a video breaking down the 5 easiest side hustles to start in 2025, drop side hustle please in the comment. I'll film it this week if enough of you ask. So once I got my side hustle unlocked, the next step was to look at the long-term wealth moves. So the first one was to automate savings. I set up transfers, £50 per paycheck into a savings account at a separate bank. Out of sight, out of mind. It grew faster than I thought. So the next one was to set up an ISA account. So when I got a better job, I finally understood the ISA match. I started contributing 6% and opened an ISA account on Vanguard. Even just £100 a month made me feel like I had the future again. The next one was to invest in index funds. I chose VTI. This was a total stock market index fund and let it ride. No day trading, no hype, just boring, consistent investing, and it really worked. This naturally led on to compound interest. I plugged £200 a month into a calculator and saw it grew basically to six figures over 20 years. That moment hit like a fire under me. So if you guys want me to send you a simple Google Sheets investing calculator, comment compound and I'll drop it in the next video. So once I had my income, side hustles, and investing unlocked, the next one was to look at my lifestyle and habits. So the first one was to avoid lifestyle creep. My income went up, but I kept my lifestyle simple. I still drove the same old car, I still packed lunches, and that gap between income and spending, that's what builds wealth. The next one was my weekly money reviews. Every Sunday, I spent 20 minutes reviewing my spending, updating my goals, and checking my budget. It was like having a financial check-in with myself. And the next one to look at was my lifelong habits. I read Your Money or Your Life, and it completely changed how I think about time and money. I kept a gratitude journal so I didn't feel poor, because the truth is I wasn't anymore. I found accountability partners online, people on the same path, and they really helped me stay focused. If you want a copy of my Sunday money checklist, just comment checklist below and I will send it out in the next community post. So with all that said, where am I now? Today, I'm not just surviving, I'm thriving. I've got a 6-month emergency fund. I invest every month. I have multiple income streams and I sleep better than I ever have. But here's the truth, it didn't happen overnight. It happened £1, one choice, and one habit at a time. If you're watching this and thinking, I can't do all this, remember, I didn't either. I just started and so can you. So comment, I'm starting today, and really mean it, because you owe this to yourself or your future self. So before I wrap this video up, I'll leave you guys with just this. So remember, you're not behind, you're just getting started. Let's build your comeback together and your financial future. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.